Hello everybody, thanks for joining our second edition of our heat series today. So my name is David and I'm working here as an area sales manager at PROBAT Germany, so it's nice to meet you. In today's sessions, besides me, there will Thomas and Jelle. And Thomas, he is an engineer from our R&D center, and Jelle is a salesman from the Dutch company Aerox. And today we want to give you some special insights of PROBAT's newest development, so the Proair system, which reduced odors in the cooling exhaust air. But I'm quite sure that you are wondering why we are sitting here outside instead of in the building, in the office. So the answer is quite easy. We are enjoying the fresh air of the coming spring. And yeah, to ensure to have this fresh air, we gave you some overviews in our last Connecting Markets Digital event about PROBAT's state-of-the-art environmental technologies. So you know that PROBAT is very aware of its responsibility to the environment, and so it's of great concern for us to provide you with the best possible solution in this field. But unfortunately, not everybody has a chance to have this clear air all around them. For example, or especially for people who are living next to roasteries, they have often problems with odors in the air, which are coming from the roastery. Even if the roaster is equipped with a catalyzer system for the roasting exhaust air, there will still some odors which are released during the cooling process into the open. And you can imagine that is not very nice for the people who live there. And this topic become more and more important, whereas in the past it was not a big issue. Why? Because most of the roasteries were founded on green fields outside of cities decades ago. But the city grew and now they are located near to residential areas. And so they have to handle with this problem. And we as PROBAT, as you to-go partner in the coffee industry, we take our role very seriously. And so we set up a task force to find a solution for that problem. And what shall I say? We found a solution in our neighborhood. So in detail, in the Netherlands, with the company Aerox. And so we as PROBAT and Aerox are very proud to present you today a solution which is unique in the coffee sector in that form. And if you ask me, it will be a game changer. So I'm quite sure that you are now interested how it works. And my colleague Thomas will explain to you. But first, let me emphasize that if you have any kind of questions, please put them in our live chat so that we can handle these questions in our session. Okay, Thomas, the stage is yours.
Yep. Thanks, David. So from my side, also a warm welcome. And also Jelle, a warm welcome to you.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, sure. Nice to having you here. So we want to show you how the Proair system works and how is to install it in your roastery, how easy it works. And so therefore we have an animation video, how you can see how the process is. And after that we see how are the modules, are the parts inside the injector cabinet. And after that we talk each other what are the details in form of the system. So we start with the video and I can explain you how the system works. So we start now with the video, and here we have an overview of the process. So it's an example of a roastery where the cooling air is integrated. So the yellow air is coming now from the lower level, and this is now our cooling air, and it's directly it's going up to the roof. And so in this pipe we integrate the Proair system. So all components of the system are here, you can see. So we see the fresh air intake on the left side. After that the injector ventilator. After the ventilator we have a 3-stage filter, then an electrical heater, the injector cabinet, and the adapter from the injector cabinet to our cooling pipe. the electrical cabinet with a PLC is not shown in this schema. So this is only an example. So all the components can set in different ways, and so they are also very flexible. So you see the process flow is now up to 220,000 cubic meters per hour. We have three systems, so Proair 5, Proair 10 and Proair 20 system. So it's in range from 5,000 to 40,000 cubic meters per hour, but it's also possible to have it up to 220,000 cubic meters per hour. So here you see the parts of the three-stage filter. So we're pushing the ambient air through this three-stage filter. We start with a pre-filter. After that we have a HEPA filter, and then it comes a carbon filter. And directly after the filter cabinet is an electrical heater to get always the same conditions. So you must be sure that we out of moisture. So, and also we have the same temperature getting into the injector cabinet. So we get further now. This is now, we open the injector cabinet. So the purified and clean air, so without dust and moisture, it's getting out before, is going into the injector cabinet. And you see below the power unit who create the high voltage, and in the top there are the non-thermical plasma modules where really the magic happened. So here on the top are the cold plasma modules, and the air, the fresh air from outside going through these modules. And here you see what really happened. So the principle is, when you have a lightning or a thunderstorm, you see or you have fresh air during the thunderstorm. It's like the same principle. So with the high voltage we create microscopic lightnings, and then we split the water and the oxygen molecules and transform it into active oxygen. And these active oxygen or oxygen radicals are injected through the nozzles from the adapter that's plugged directly into our cooling pipe. You see it here now. So it's going directly through these nodules, and out of the holes of these nodules or of the lenses the plasma is coming out, and the reaction starts directly here. So you see here now the yellow odor molecules that are, for example, the coffee odor molecules from the cooling air, and there we have a high speed oxidation. And this is the reaction, and the resulted oxidized molecules cannot be detected by the human nose. So we have an effective way for the odor reduction. So we connect it to each other. And it's important that after the injector, we have a defined reaction time. So the exhaust pipe after the injector must be a defined length, and the reaction time must be round about 1 second. So before the chimney, and the air is going out. And especially is we have now a batch process from the roaster and the cooler also. But the ventilator from the injector is every time on. So when you start your roaster, so the ventilator from the Proair system is starting directly. And only when you start your cooling process, then we switch on the power unit and we have directly create oxygen radicals, and we have directly odor reduction. And when the cooling time ends, we switch off the power unit and we wait for the next batch. So this was an introduction of the process. And now Jelle, let us show us a little bit more in detail. So we have here now an injector cabinet, and we open this cabinet and you can show some some components of the Proair system.
Well, thank you again, Thomas. Well, this is inside what you mentioned, where the magic happens. Before the air comes in here, normally in front we have the filter stage where the oxygen is purified, and then it comes in the cabinet. And with this transformator we transform the electricity through 3000 volt and 400 hertz. We are then creating this field of non-thermal plasma where the oxygen goes through and is put out together, and these oxygen parts become oxygen radicals, and then because of this overpressure it's pushed into the exhaust of the cooling air process of the roastery, and then with as a result a direct odor reduction.
Yeah. Okay, here you can see the modules himself. So there are the modules that are calculated before we install the system, and they are different in the different size.
Yeah.
So when you have a bigger system, then you have more modules.
Yeah, it's depending on what we've tested, of course, also very elaborately is which kind of type of roaster for and how many modules. So we have a fast setup for every roaster of PROBAT to enable the right odor reduction.
Okay. So David, have you any questions in the live chat maybe?
Yeah, indeed we have one question. So from Gary, he's asking, so this is for cooling air. So yeah, I can say, yeah, that is for cooling air. So our Proair system is for using in the cool air process. So you're right, yeah. But of course we have also get some questions beforehand from our customers, and yeah, maybe Thomas, you can start with some general information about some overviews of possible fields of application of the Proair system.
Yeah. So like the question before, it's for the cooling process, and we integrate it there directly in our cooling pipe. So we want to reduce the order units of the cooling air that comes out of the chimney, and yeah, that is not possible that we integrate the system in a roasting exhaust air, because there the temperature is too high, and then we have no effective odor reduction there.
Yeah, and mainly because there has been already a part of oxidation due to the enormous heat coming from the roasting process itself.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for explanation. So Jelle, so the use of the system is in the coffee industry is quite specific. So I'm sure that Aerox also uses this system in other industry fields. Maybe you can tell us something about that.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to tell something about that. Yeah, we're already installing our equipment for 25 years in several focus industries for Aerox, which are mainly animal feed, food, general food purposes, tobacco industry, auto tire industry. So yeah, we have a broad application, although this coffee cooling air is somewhat new now for us, although we have done a lot of testing.
Yeah.
As I understand, the use in the coffee field is quite a new topic for you. So maybe you can give us some insights. What was the first contact with PROBAT and how the first trials was the result from?
Yeah, I think it was quite inevitable that PROBAT and Aerox would team up, not only because of the short distance, we're about 60 kilometers apart, but mainly because of the topic sustainability and the responsibility that a company as PROBAT, as a market leader in coffee roasting, but also in research and development, and the responsibility. And we are founded on these subjects because fresh air for your neighbors is our slogan, and we have a very environmental friendly system, no uses of gases or chemicals, and the modules which we just talked about are completely refurbished when after their first maintenance, or every maintenance, so to speak.
Yep.
So I think, that's how we came about, and then we started to do some indicative tests.
Yeah, so we start here within our technical center with a small test unit and on a small roaster, and the first trials are very good. So then we set us the next step. The next step was an industrial size test, and this pilot plant we have now in field for around about 6 months, and therefore we see how stable are the results, how stable are the odor reduction there, and this was quite good, and yeah, we are very happy about the system. Yeah.
Yeah, for us it was also a challenge to see how our equipment would react to the batch processes. And well, in theory, we predicted that would be very good, but then it's very nice when you have it in full-scale test and then you're confirmed with
Yeah.
it. So.
Yeah, thanks for giving us this insight. So indeed we have some other questions in our live chat, and one of them is how more energy efficient is this system compared to a standard thermal oxidation system? Maybe one of you guys can tell us something about that.
Yeah, the energy consumption is very low with the system. So we have measured in with the test plant, and we see that we have up to 80 to 90% lower energy consumption with this system. So with a catalyzer and with other possibility to reduce the odors, then we have, for example, a measurement from 3.3 kilowatt kilowatt per 100 kilogram green coffee, and with this system we have 0.3 to 0.5 kilowatt hour per 100 kilogram green coffee. So it's very, very good and very efficiency.
Okay, and now we have another questions from the live chat regarding the maintenance. So he's asking, what is the lifetime of the plasma modules?
The lifetime is about 8,000 operational hours, or within 4 years for whatever comes first.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's basically, there are some other components which need some maintenance. That's of course the filters. We have a filter cabinet before the Aerox injector to purify the air, and there is a bag filter which can be changed by the customer itself, and we have a fine dust filter, and then we have a carbon filter, and the carbon filter and the modules are something that PROBAT and Aerox will do themselves, because it's a very particular job, and like mentioned before, we want to refurbish these modules. So yeah.
And also it is good that the first, also bag filter and the HEPA filter, we had a pressure switch there.
Yep.
And if you if they are blocked, for example, then you get an alarm if you must change this filters modules. And what you say, you can change it by yourself with your own maintenance guys. So it's also an advantages there. Some other maintenance point is the maintenance hatch in back of the adapter. So because of the cooling air, there are possibility that we have some dirtiness on the lenses, and there you can clean it. So that's the maintenance point.
Okay. And yeah, another question from our live chat, how to connect PROBAT roaster with this machine. So Thomas, maybe you can explain something about that, and also what about other kinds of roasters, not especially from PROBAT, so also for other roasters.
Yeah. So it's possible to integrate it also in old existing roastery. That's not a problem. So we can make a hardwire connection. So when we get the start signal from the roaster, if there's a cooling air, then we start directly the power unit, and so that's an easiest way. But also for a new facility, a new roastery, when you have our new control system, then we can connect in detail, for example, how is the energy consumption of the system, and then we get all information from the system to our control software. And it's very easy there. So it's a lot of possibility also with Profibus. So TCP/IP, everything is possible to connect to existing roastery, but also to non-PROBAT roaster is also possible. Yeah, there are a lot of possibilities there.
Okay, thank you.
Endless.
Yeah. So I think it's quite clear now that we want to reduce odors in the cooling exhaust air. But Thomas, maybe you can explain what is the target of the Proair system in numbers?
So our target was, when we started with our development project, that we reduce the order units up to 50%. So this was our minimum target. And also to have no special coffee flavor or smell in the air after the cooling chimney, so that coming out of the cooling pipe. So that's are the two topics that we set us in the development project, and with the results are very, very good. We are more than 50% efficiency. It's up to 90%. It depends on the order units that are measured from that we are measured there.
So you mentioned the order units. So what does it mean? Is order measurable? So I think maybe you can describe it a little bit more, because I think it's not very touchable for our viewers. So
that's not so easy. I think Jelle has also a lot of experience there. When we test or we get our sample in our test unit, that's not really comparable to each other, to one factory to another factory, because you take a sample there, you take a sample out of the airflow stream, and the sample is taken in a plastic bag, and then you take the plastic bag to a laboratory, and there are some people who smell at the probe, and so we have a human factor there that's going into the order units. The results are the order units. But when you have another laboratory, then maybe they could have other results there. So we must check it without and with the system. How is the efficiency there? I think it's in other fields it's the same.
Yeah, it's, what we do to check the efficiency is when an odor analyzing company will take samples before and after the Aerox. And there is some standardization, well, in Europe and in Germany for that, and also in America, I believe. And then with the outcome of these results, which are, because of the human factor, there can be some differences, but due to the standardization, you will get a very, very good idea on what the total efficiency is before and after the Aerox. And this we tested also with the pilot test here in the PROBAT's beautiful equipped Technicum. And they are a very good predictor on the full scale situation, and even better, a lot of times, even also this time, it's a better result in full scale.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks Jelle for the explanation. And indeed, we have another question in our live chat, and that is regarding our shop roaster. So what solution we can offer for roasting exhaust for the PROBAT 212 in regarding total odor elimination? So in our shop roaster section.
So this system, the Proair system, is specially designed for industrial size. So we discuss about it, if it's possible that we have a system also for our shop roaster there. But therefore we have at the moment other solutions there. So we have an odor filter there that is at the moment much more easier to install, but there are some possibilities in the future, maybe in the next development project.
Work in progress.
Yeah. And we are also on the shop roaster. So, but therefore we have other solutions in our portfolio that is at the moment the best solution for. So like the filter.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, there's one question regarding our demonstration unit, and he's asking what size of roaster does the demonstration unit fit for?
So this demonstration unit is a Proair 5 system. So this is, for example, for a PX120 roaster or a Neptune 500 roaster. So this is the smallest unit. When we go higher to another unit, for example, like our pilot test plant, then it's going.
It's getting taller, so
correct.
The space needed it won't be very much bigger than it's portrayed right here. So yeah, that's also one of the
No.
a lot of one of the biggest advantages of our system, the Proair system, is of course that it's very compact, and even as a retrofit in other in already existing plants, it can be easy fitted in.
Yeah, and that's also we must look when we plan a system in your roastery, if the system is integrated in a horizontal way or in a vertical way. So when we are in a horizontal pipeline, then it's going higher because we want to inject all the plasma on the completely whole pipe diameter, and on the vertical pipe, then it's going. The width is going more. No?
And also the customer can be very how do you call it, flexible in the setup, also in combination with the filter cabinet and the injection fan.
Yeah, you mentioned the size of the system and also the positioning and so on. And Jelle, maybe you can tell us something about, is an auto installation also possible?
Auto installation?
So outside of the...
outside, okay. Yeah, outside installation is possible. Yeah, we together with PROBAT we've come to an optional package which ensures a very good outside placement with rain hoods and noise reduction component. So yeah, that makes it very good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. And yeah, maybe Jelle, you can sum up or summarize the advantage of the Proair system, maybe for our viewers. Yeah.
Discussed some already. So the size undoubtedly is a very good big advantage. Also, I think the sustainability, of course, the refurbishing of the components, the energy applied is very low in regard to other as discussed RTOs and such. So these are big advantage. I think also because we can switch it to the batch process. It's only in operation when the cooling process is on. Only we continuously have the injection fan running, but the most energy goes to the modules. But that's only for this 3 to 6 minutes turned on. Yeah. So and we have far more.
You know. Correct. So also an advantage is that we have no influence on the roasting or on the cooling process. So we have no extended cooling time. We have an auto reduction over the completely cooling time, not the first 16 seconds or something. So we have over the complete cooling time, and yeah, it's easy. It's easy to switch on, switch off, and
can implement it in the factory's SCADA or
and also we have no influences in the process, I said, but also we have no possibility that we have no production stop there. When the system is going off, when there's a disturbance or anything, then on the back side there are some non-return valves there, and so that the cooling air is not coming into the injector cabinet. And therefore you can produce more and more, and so we have no production stop there.
Yeah, because it's not an inline machinery. It's put outside of the exhausting duct, so yeah, no influences on that.
Yeah, Thomas and Jelle, thank you very much for the summarize. So we are running a little bit out of time. So I would like to say thanks to you both for your time and also for your detailed explanation. And I would also like to say thanks to our viewers for joining us today. So we hope that this session today came up to your expectation. And in case that you have any kind of further questions, please do not hesitate to send those to us. And we will handle these, of course, also after the session. And we hope that you will also join our next heat session, which will be placed on the 19th of May. And the topic will be FabScale, the next generation dashboard. So thanks again for joining, stay healthy, and hopefully see you soon in real. Thanks.